Okay, this is my shop work here at home in the next phase of the East Troy virtual organ project for the East Troy Railroad Museum. I had to draw a little schematic to make sure that I think I know what I'm doing. Here's the rectifier bridge. I built this out of my stash parts that I have. AC goes in here, AC connections here, and then one of these will be negative, the other is positive. So AC in, plus and minus comes out this end. And I have the relays mostly wired. I got to wire them into the console. These two cables, 8 of them are for the first 8 relays. 4 of them here are for the last 4, and then there's an extra green wire in the second cable that'll represent the common of the pistons. So basically what I'll end up with is the pistons will be their own circuit to run this relay, a 12 volt circuit, totally independent of the artisan, and then the relays of course will key the artisan. So that's where I'm at with this thus far. Well, here are my 12 buffer relays for the weak contacts on the pistons. I built a full wave bridge and I have it connected to a 12 volt transformer. It's two 6.3 volt windings in series, so it puts over 13 volts, but there's something I hadn't planned on. This is a full wave rectifier that I built, bridge that I built, and so I end up with 18 volts, and these are 12 volt relays. Is that a problem? Well, the pistons get only pushed once, momentarily, and the piston contacts themselves are quite weak, noisy if you will, so I don't think that's going to burn one of these relays out. I keep my fingers crossed on that one, but as long as the button is pushed in momentarily, which normally that's always the case, not held in, it should be fine. But what I probably should have done is built a half-wave rectifier instead of a full wave. I never thought, I didn't realize it gets a higher voltage out that way. 18 volts, that's pretty good. So the next phase of this project is I'm cleaning all of the stop rail contacts. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if I can get a beep on either my diode test or my CMOS transistor logic or CMOS setting, if I get a beep on those after I clean those, that's as good as I'm going to hope for. Because if I measure it by ohms, I can't get a very low ohm reading. So I'm going to only hope that what I do will be good enough to key up and configure in Hauptwerk. If not, because I have all 12 pistons working with my buffer relay over there, technically, if everything goes right, I should be able to connect this to a Hauptwerk computer, mine, for a test, and actually get this thing playing just on the pistons. But let me clean the rest of these contacts and see how I do. So here's where I've gotten so far with it. I've got these 2 tabs are connected down to the artisan, but they're not making it to the common. So I got to find out why that is, and so I have to raise up the horseshoe again to sort that out. I verified and cleaned, burnished, used the contact cleaner, and I think I might have all of the stop keys verified and working, except these 2. I don't know where they go. I can't find them. The thing is because I knew that when I put in the extra cable for my 12 relay buffer for the pistons, I actually connected up 2 extra wires. So if worse comes to worse, I can connect those 2 extra wires up to these stop tabs, and that'll solve that problem. But I'll have to figure out why I don't have any ground connection on this one and this one. So basically I solved all the discrepancies All the stop keys are wired in. I know where they go. They're mostly in line except for these two here. They go to a different place, but it doesn't matter. I know where they are. They're all into the Artisan input boards. I'll verify that one more time. I need to put in a second line voltage electrical circuit to turn on and off the organ part of it separately from the lights. That way the lights on the console can be lit anytime somebody wants them lit so that the console's lit up. But to play the organ, there'll be another switch for the electrical to run that. If everything goes right, I might be able to do a test run on this thing with my Hauptwerk test computer within a few days, if everything goes right. I pretty much sorted out all the wiring and tested all the connections, cleaned all the stop actions, connections, the switches as good as I could. I'll do it one more time. I think I'm going to be able to bring my Hauptwerk computer down here maybe near the middle or end of next week, or I should say before Friday of next week, and actually see if I can configure and test this console. Now, this key here will be replaced with one that says 16-foot tibia. This one here will be replaced with a green one like I did over here. It'll just say piano. It'll be the 16-foot piano for the pedal. And then this blank one here will be replaced with a 5 1/3. I eliminated a 1 3/5 because I think a 5 1/3, at least for my way of playing, works better for me. But of course with Hauptwerk, you could put the biggest organ on and just use these pistons. So the stop keys and what they say are not always going to be that important. Certainly they will have importance, but... And then one of the things that I did was I redid the electrical again. This turns on and off just the organ, and it has a pilot light to show if it's on or off. So the first thing down below is you flip the switch for the console lights, and then this will be able to turn on. But if the console lights are not on, this won't turn on. So I have two different switches on this, one for the lights and one for the organ part. So I think for now I'm pretty much going to button this thing up for the weekend, because tomorrow they start running trolleys again, trolley rides, and then I have to play here on Saturday. So I'm going to be pretty much done with this for today. I'll come back to it on Monday. Well, I have it working, except I don't have any swell pedal because I've got to redesign that. Hauptwerk won't configure it in because it needs the full swing of the pot, and the way I installed that pot, it's not going to work, but that's a solvable problem. I don't know if there's reverb coming in through the Hauptwerk. I looked at all the settings, but the reverb is pretty strong. But this building, if you hear, this is a very live building. So it's hard to get used to because it's actually too much reverb. But I'll play it a little bit in the next clip just to show you how it sounds. It's really not very controllable without having the swell, and the reverb is pretty intense in here. It might be a difficult instrument to play in some respects, but you get used to it. contacts are also a problem. I mentioned that in an earlier video clip that these ancient contacts in this console are problematic, but actually it is amazing that I got it working as well. So other than contact problems and stuff, we have to solve the swell pedal issue. I'm pretty much done with wiring up the console, so I think we're all set with this. Notice that some of the pedal notes don't come out, and that's because of very weak contacts, very weak contacts in it. Let's see. Like I said, as I said, the contacts are an issue. I think I can work them in. I've cleaned and cleaned on a lot of the contacts, so I still see I got some work to do, but that's as good as it's going to be right now.